Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got half the Koco group here holding it down live. Yours truly, sexiest man on all over wrestling radio. It's like boom, boom, here's Second Room live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And of course, joining me down there in the dirty South, talking about Sammy Synister. Good to see you again, brother.
How you doing?
Hey, could be better, man. Hell, it's a Thursday night. Didn't have much else to do except for watch quite possibly the best worst movie I have ever seen in my life.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. I really want to watch it, and if we can, I really want to do a review of it. If at all possible, I want to do a show on that.
Yeah, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I discovered there's an independent film that came out around 2013. It's called Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies. Now, I don't want to spoil anything here, but it has got, in the movie, it's got Roddy Piper, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Matt Hardy, Reedy Sky, Kurt Angle. Then you've got a guest appearance by like Sylvester Turkey, and a lot of independent, I think SoCal Val's even in there, but it's a lot of like independent wrestlers from, it's a now defunct Extreme Rising. It's the name of the promotion. Oh, and the franchise Shane Douglas, I forgot to mention that. He was kind of like a star of it. I'm just going to give you the plot, without giving anything away. It's pro wrestlers, obviously, taking on zombies inside an abandoned prison in West Virginia. That's, you know what? I mean, hell, if that doesn't scream Oscar nominations, I don't know what
It doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No, it does not. It's so, that movie is so bad. It is so good. It's one of those pop some popcorn, check your brain at the door, cut your phone off, and turn off the lights because you're watching some wrestlers kill some goddamn zombies.
And it can't get any better than that, truth be told.
Well, actually, it can. It can get better, and that was this past episode of Lucha Underground. We're at episode 8. So I'm going to ask you, Sammy, first question we always ask in these reviews, what do you give the show? Do you give it a win, a loss, or a tie, sir?
A win. Definitely a win. And I still had some issues. Don't get me wrong. I definitely had some issues. But as per usual, fucking Lucha Underground continues to deliver.
I agree with you. I like it. It's like they're aware of their own universe. It's just weird. They tie up their own loose ends before we can even ask the question. Before, when they start to do something, we're like, "Hey, what about?" Oh, okay, you've addressed that. Okay, and they did it this week.
Oh, definitely.
They do things. They're always thinking ahead. And it's just been a consistently entertaining show. I will admit, like, they were a little bumpy getting out of the starting blocks this season, but I can tell you right now, they put a lot of stock in season 3.
Oh, yeah. Like, they took their storytelling that was already awesome and fucking shot that shit to the moon.
To be honest, because I was worried, because season 1 was just fucking phenomenal. I mean, that was just the foundation. It's the standard by which we judge all Lucha Underground. And then we got to season 2, and to be honest, I like season 2. I just didn't love it as much as I loved season 1. But they just always kept hyping up, oh, but season 3's coming. We're like, dude, we need you to make season 2 good. No, just trust us. Season 3's going to be really good. We're like, yeah, but we want season 3. Like, okay, you keep hyping up season 3. Okay, we're already on episode 8. And I'm like, okay, you've made it for season 2. So we start off the show here with Sexy Star going into Dario Cueto's office. She slams the championship down on his desk and says, I'm not scared of you. I'm sure as hell not scared of your brother, and I want my match against your brother for the Lucha Underground Championship next week. Dario says, well, yeah, that'd be great, but you got a match against Johnny Mundo. Oh, and by the way, if your friends Aerostar, Drago, or Phoenix interfere, they're going to be banned from the temple forever.
I loved this. I absolutely loved it because this was fucking brilliant. Because two things. A, and it has probably happened. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. Just that I can remember. I never remember Dario and Sexy Star having a one-on-one conversation, just the two of them. That I can remember.
Nah. And this is interesting because, Johnny Mundo got the match because he bribed Dario Cuetos. Dario wasn't doing nothing. He pushed Mundo to the breaking point.
And that's why I like this so much, because it was like, if your friends get involved, they're out. Which, I mean, we'll get to that match here in a little bit. But, in my mind, that let us know that there was some more to that conversation than we saw, because that money is what gave Mundo the unfair advantage coming out of this match.
Right. So we get to the first match because we didn't have to wait long for intergender wrestling. We had Marty the Moth Martinez with his sister Mariposa taking on Ivelisse, the baddest bitch in the building. Marty, man, continues to impress, man. It's just how creepy he is. He plays this character so well. The way he just absolutely just stalks Melissa Santos. And Melissa, I mean, just feeding off of that is just so creeped out by him. Just a little thing that they did was, he took off his shirt and threw it towards Melissa. Melissa kind of caught it and just threw it to the ground. It's like, oh, my God. It was just shaking her hands. I mean, like, that thing might as well have been soaked in anthrax. She was just like, fuck, I don't like this. But here's another question. Is it just me, or has Marty put on, like, a shit ton of weight?
But I think it's muscle. I think he's put on a lot of muscle because he's gotten bigger, which is good.
When you got a pot belly bigger than mine and yours put together, I don't know if I really call that muscle.
He's always been a thick dude.
Yeah, I mean,
he's definitely gotten stronger.
Yeah, he was already big to begin with, but they were saying like he was pushing like 300 pounds.
That is big. Well, that might have fluffed his numbers a little bit.
And I'm just like, dude, he's not that tall. And I'm like, that's not really healthy, bro.
Yeah, you never know. I don't, and I've tried to understand they've done and made their own universe. I just don't really like intergender matches. They're hard for me to watch. Not because it's like, oh, I want to see a woman. It's like, the Southern in me doesn't like women getting hit.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. And I was like that too, but I also bear in mind that, one, I mean, look, these are trained professionals. They know what they're doing. And two, this is the reason why I kind of like it in Lucha Underground, is because in Lucha Underground, the women are portrayed just as tough as the men.
Yeah.
In some cases, tougher. So when they're being presented as equals, and that showing that the men actually feel the effects, and they're actually selling for the women, because maybe in reality, a woman could throw a punch and the guy would be like, "Oh, you just punched me." No, they're really selling. So it's showing that they're taking just as much damage, and the women are kicking out of like some of these devastating moves from the men.
Yeah, it's the believability thing, because it's their own universe. So we can believe it in that universe, whereas, again, a real-life match, we'd be like, he would just destroy her. Like, this would be the end of the match. Yeah. And it works here. It's just still tough for me to get through. Right. And speaking of Marty's character, his character's great, and he continues to develop it, but Mariposa hadn't done shit. That is the most stagnant, boring-ass character.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something with her. Either because ever since she lost the No Mas match, I mean, sure,
nothing.
Her career right now in Lucha Underground has just been dead.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But Ivelisse hung in there for the longest time. There was like a submission hold where she tried to like do like a guillotine choke, and then like another version of the sleeper hold from that sitting position. Marty slammed Ivelisse onto her neck, got the pin. There was a post-match beatdown. Big Sammy Callahan or Solomon Crow, however you want to refer to him. Basically, I thought it was Sammy Synister there for a little bit. It was like, I was like, when the hell did he grow hair? Oh, wait a minute. That's Solomon Crow. Never mind. So he starts beating up on Marty and Mariposa, and Ivelisse is like, oh, fuck, I guess I got to go back in there and save your ass. So goes in there. They clear the ring, and then they argue back and forth. So I like that they're introducing a new character, and I already like it because Sammy Callahan's going to play the scumbag boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. Like, honestly, I was more impressed with Sammy Callahan, and I think if they give him a name, they gave him a name. It was like Virgil. Or,
I think I heard it was like Jeremiah.
That was it. It was Jeremiah. So it's not Sammy Callahan, but it's totally Sammy Callahan. They even chatted Sammy. But that being said, I was more impressed with him here than I was in his entire tenure in NXT.
In NXT, I even spoke about that after he got released. I said, it just wasn't anything that he did wrong. I just think they just weren't a good fit. It's like when you take a girl out on a date, a couple times, and there's just really not any chemistry. It's not
how would you know how that feels?
Well, you know, what can I say? Your mom, you know, me and her, we tried, but we were like two ships passing in the night.
Y'all are all about the same age, so that would make sense.
Yeah, hey, I can still get, never mind.
Y'all didn't catch that. I just made fun of him for being old.
If I recall correctly, you're the same age I was when you started calling me old.
Yeah, I'm getting close. I'm getting there.
But I promise you, you won't look this good.
Yeah. I just have this ruggedly handsome beard that is just fucking awe-inducing. So fucking get this, completely unrelated subject. My company, this is why I love my job. My company is having a beard contest. And so whoever at the end of November has the best beard gets like a legit cash prize.
No shave November?
Yeah. Or as I call it, November.
Yeah, that's either that or what you could do is you could start like a sod farm. You could just transplant the hair from your beard on the top of your head.
Because that would work.
You could grow like
I'm just gonna let it grow and then tie it up like that one guy that used to have the stupid fucking facial hair on Game of Thrones, and he like tied it underneath. I'm gonna do the same, but like tie it up top.
Or whatever you do, don't get like this lion's mane. I saw like this one guy. It was like started out as sideburns, then it went all the way like around like here up under his chin. It went up around his head, and I was like, dude, I don't care how hard you try to sell that, how much you try to trim it, how much you scrub it. It looks stupid. Don't ever do that, please. All right. Then next we had a vignette for the White Rabbit. We actually saw a person this time. Was it just me? And I could be completely wrong. I swear, was that Paul London?
It is Paul London. It is Paul London because I had to make it and again, I'm not calling anybody out on this. I had to talk to somebody in the comments of our last review because me and LK were talking like, hey, talking about this, and he posted what it was definitely a spoiler, and he was like, if you're just not paying attention. I'm like, well, not everyone scrutinizes like we do, so just for everyone else's sake, let's kind of hold off on posting stuff like that because he did say so last week. But yeah, definitely Paul London.
Okay, I was like, I know that guy, but I mean, the beard threw me off, and I was like, that kind of looks like Paul London, but I was like, I knew it. Somebody said, "Oh, is it Adam Rose?" And I'm like, "No, it's not fucking Adam Rose."
Adam Rose. Adam Rose.
Actually, I wouldn't mind.
Garbagey.
I wouldn't mind seeing Adam Rose under like the Leo Kruger character.
I wasn't a huge fan of the Leo Kruger character.
It could be. Yeah, you never know. All right. Anyway, so we go back out stage. Sammy and Ivelisse, they argue. He said, "Hey, Dario offered me a contract," and Ivelisse is like, "You know what? And I love this line. It's like, if it comes down to us and we have to fight each other, I will kick your ass." And he's like, "Oh, I love it when you talk dirty and they get in the car."
I like that a lot.
I love that.
Because again, I'm already more impressed with him here than I ever was in NXT because he has a character. It showed that he's a scumbag, rowdy boyfriend that likes to drink too much, that likes to fight, likes to hurt people. And even told her, it's like, if together we could destroy people. Not win, not cause problems, destroy people.
The couple that slays together stays together.
Straight out of fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
There you go. Oh, and also, Ollie said, "Oh, it won't be like you and the other guy."
Yeah, the other guy.
Yeah, I love that. Then we go to Dario. Immediately, he gets into a limo with that councilman. He hands him a box and asks him if he picked a new host body. I'm not making that up. He actually said that. Dario says, "Yeah, I picked a couple, but one of them will be great." It's like, I got to pick one that will be like godlike, and I'm like. Host body.
Shit got real. Shit. When did this become the golden child?
Oh my bullshit. And then maybe this is foreshadowing because he talked about there was two specimens, but he could get one, and they immediately go to Tejano versus Cage in the best. And this is match 3 in their best of 5 series. You know what? Dario's got a bad track record with giving people opportunities. Every time he promises an opportunity, they always get fucked over in the end.
Yeah, that's what this is. The ultimate opportunity is godhood.
Because for those of you playing along at home, remember Drago won that ultimate opportunity, so he got a title shot. But if he lost, he would be banished from the temple.
Yep,
he lost that. There was the 4 men. They got in the ballroom, into the ballroom brawl between Son of Havoc and Tejano.
Son of Havoc.
Son of Havoc won that, only to get screwed over again, and he got robbed at like $250,000. No, Lucha Underground championship match at Ultima Lucha Tres.
Yep.
There was one more that somebody else got fucked over on, like hardcore. Help me out, Infantry. But I'm like, after a while, like even if you're like, if you're even remotely paying attention in the temple, every time with Dario was like, I've got a unique opportunity. Like, oh, fuck it, give it to him.
Nope, don't want it.
Nope, don't want it, give it to him.
I'm done here.
Better yet, and Dario's going to be like, okay, I'll tell you what. I'm a fair man. We will have a match. The loser gets the ultimate opportunity. Absolutely. Okay.
God damn it.
These guys will fight to the fucking death. It's like, no.
Yes, I mean, this entire segment, this whole thing, like, it bleeds into the overarching story, which I don't know if you've done a Lucha review yet with me this year, on this season, so I'll tell you my ideas. But the overarching thing of there's a war coming, and then this is going to have to do with that war somehow. If you've noticed, I've done it a little bit so far, but one of the themes in this series, or in this season, has been gathering soldiers for the war. We've got Castro and we've got Joey Ryan, and I think that's definitely going to come out more in who's going to be on whose side. I eventually think that one of the big things that people is like, who is going to get some of the big names, mainly who's going to get Prince Puma and who is going to get Pentagon Dark. Because I think they'll both go to the good side. Because fucking Pentagon Dark has got some of the best booking on that show right now. Because he's the Punisher or the Wolverine of Lucha Underground. He's a bad person. He is not a good person, and people love him. And they're treating him like he's this mysterious, arm-breaking killing machine, and that is awesome. That makes me so fucking happy. So, and this segment definitely plays into that, and it just blew the whole roof off the thing. So you're just even more now wondering what the fuck is going on.
I know there was like talks of like making like a Lucha Underground movie, so maybe that's what the war will be. It'll be the movie.
Who knows? We'll have to see.
Anyway, back to the best of 5 match here. Tejano versus Cage. I thought Cage, I was like, Tejano's going to win this. Like, Tejano's got to win this. They're not going to give Cage the sweep. But as the match kept going, I thought, well, maybe they are going to give him the sweep, and they're going to go to a different storyline with Tejano. But these two, I mean, this was a hoss match, like the other 2 matches have been. Superplex, spine buster. I think the thing that did in Cage was just him being arrogant, not hooking the leg with the covers. Very lax with the covers. Cage, I mean, he hit this discus a lariat, and then Tejano just.
What the hell is the difference between a lariat and a clothesline?
I wondered that too, but. The best way I can tell you is if you hit someone with a clothesline, your arm stays straight the entire time and you just clothesline them. A lariat, however, your arm will tend to hook around towards their neck. That's the best way I could describe it.
I have no idea. And I've been watching wrestling almost my entire life, and I could not tell you the difference between the two. But no, there was an awesome Frankensteiner in this match. There was a nasty buckle bomb, and just because of the Seth Rollins things, I'm always really eerie and really iffy on buckle bombs nowadays. At the end of the match, I kind of thought the same thing. I thought they may give this sweep to Cage. He's one of their guys. They might, and I love both these guys. I've loved all 3 of these matches because this is how I don't know. I love it. It's your cowboy gimmick versus your machine gimmick, and I really, really fucking dig that. But and then he got the small package roll up, and I was pissed because I hate those kind of finishes.
But it made sense in this instance because
it worked. It definitely worked.
Because Cage had multiple chances to put Tejano away to get the sweep. He got caught sleeping one time, so it made sense to use it. To use that cradle.
I mean, I agree, but I still I'm not big on those. And honestly, and here's a question I have for you before we go on because I've asked LK this same thing.
Okay.
If you were WWE, why are you not trying everything in your power to get Cage? He's everything you want and need. He's big. He's muscly. He can work. He's good on the mic. He's got a good gimmick. He can get heat. He can be a sympathetic babyface.
I'm not making any accusations when I say this, but one, can he pass a drug test?
He may not be. I don't know. Maybe not.
I'm not accusing him. I'm not saying he's getting any help. I'm not saying that. I'm just asking, could he pass a drug test? And 2, all these guys' contracts are are structured as to they cannot appear for another wrestling promotion as long as they're on Lucha Underground, which is why, Prince Puma, Ricochet has talked about going to WWE, even if he wanted to go and WWE was interested and would sign him, the earliest he could go would be summer of 2017.
Yeah.
It would be probably be July. Or no, August. It would be August of 20.
Damn, season 3 is that long?
Yeah, it goes into like June or July.
God damn, we're getting a lot of episodes. We're gonna get like 48 episodes.
Yeah, season 3 is fucking long.
Good.
All right, next, back to Dario's office. He's picking in the box, but Rey Mysterio comes in and he's asked, saying, hey, it's like, oh, you give me your 2-week notice. It's like, well, I may not be here much longer, but he wants, Rey Mysterio wants to wrestle Chavo Guerrero Jr. in a Lucha Leaves the Temple match. And then, of course,
so I've got to tell you about this because you weren't here for this review.
Okay.
I did like this segment. I really like. Childhood is over when 2 things happen. Okay, for me personally, and just for human beings across the world, childhood is over, and even people that don't know wrestling can fucking attest to this. Childhood is over when A, the day you gotta die, and B, the much more powerful and devastating of these 2 facts. Childhood is over the day you hear Rey Mysterio call another human being a piece of shit. I was done. Like, the 7-year-old me died.
I think he called him a piece of crap.
No. 2 weeks ago, before the fucking match he had with Chavo, he called Chavo Guerrero a piece of shit. And my childhood was over. It died there. 7, 8-year-old me sitting there starting to love Lucha Libre because of Rey Mysterio and WCW. It's like, yeah, I love this Rey Mysterio guy. That kid's dead. Because Rey Mysterio is out for blood and called another human being a piece of shit. It's just, how do you sleep at night after you hear that? You don't. Yeah, and it made sense for him. I mean, he even explained why he was doing it, because he's like, I can't waste my time always dealing with, Chavo, and it's like, sometimes storytelling here is great.
Sometimes you got to put a dog down just for for his own good.
Yeah, the childhood's great, but 7-year-old Sammy cannot handle Rey Mysterio talking about murdering another human being and calling him a piece of shit. That's like if fucking Superman came through your window right now and was like, you know what, Marcus? You were just a big dickhead, and then flew off again. You would never be able to. How would you? You would just be that guy sitting in a fucking bar at the end of every night with a beer, just slowly drinking himself to death, one fucking sip at a time. I am one more Rey Mysterio promo from being that. I swear to God, if he's like, I'm going to fucking murder Chavo Guerrero, I'm going to turn off my computer. I'm going to turn off fucking El Rey Network. I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to go to the local dive bar down the street. I'm going to spend every day there until I die. Just because I can't handle it. I cannot handle it.
No, can't handle it. So then we get to the main event. We have Johnny Mundo versus Sexy Star for the Gift of the Gods Championship. Started out actually quite well, and I was just waiting for it. I was waiting for the interference, and then the ref took a bump.
Oh, there it is.
And I was like, here we go. And I'm waiting, and here comes PJ Black and Jack Evans. They beat the shit out of Sexy Star. They have another referee in. Sexy Star kicks out. She grabs a chair. Out comes the Mac. And I was like,
that was great. That was great.
I totally
forgot the Mac was one on her side.
Because I was like, when they said, I was like, wait a minute. They didn't say the Mac. I was like, but are they still friends? And I was like, oh crap. He came out and he attacked PJ Black and Evans, stunners everybody. Mundo gets the chair yanked out of his arms. He clocks the referee.
One thing Lucha Underground does that I really, really like, Cheers, I'll make a couple points. A, I love that they call Marty Elias the senior official. Because that, like, if for some reason, even in the future, they go, well, this ref and this ref can't get along, who's going to make the deciding point about this if Dario is not there? Marty Elias, he's the senior official. Right. Then they made the point that, like, they only have 3 officials. So if Marty is down and this other guy goes down, they only have one more official, and he's not going to want to come out there because he doesn't want to get the shit kicked out of him. That's fucking brilliant. That is just good, simple writing. Why this match can be, for a brief moment in time in this match, can be a no-hold-bars match. Because the two of them are down, the other one's too scared to come out. And fucking Dario loves violence. He's not going to come out there and make him come out. That was just fucking brilliant to me. I absolutely adored that. And I didn't think, it's like, someone's going to come help her, right? Like, someone's going to come help her, but it can't be them. Who's it going to be? And I'm kind of thinking over, and then when the Mac came out, I totally forgot, oh, the fucking Mac helped her for, like, all of season 2. That's brilliant. And I love the Mac. The Mac's kick-ass.
But during the distraction, Mundo reached into his trunks, pulled out a pair of brass knuckles, clocked Sexy Star right in the face, got the pin. Your winner and new Get to the Gods champion, Johnny Mundo. The crowd was just, I think the crowd was just like in disbelief, because I thought, okay, if they're going to do it, they were going to do it earlier after that first ref bump. But no, she kept, and then when she kicked out, it was like, no, she's going to retain it. And then, I mean, we're talking like John Cena versus Wyatt family levels of like shenanigans here.
Yeah.
And just one thing that didn't make sense to me is, and I know that, the excuse is, Dario was like wants, is calling for the referees to be lax in these championship matches. But I'm like, if a referee is blatantly attacked by a wrestler, I mean, I think that, why are they not disqualified? Because it's like, okay, it's one thing if they do something to each other, but when you outright attack a referee, I'm just like, how the hell is that not a disqualification? I know maybe I'm a little sour here because I actually do like Sexy Star, and I really hate Mundo's
Me and you
character.
do. LK's the only human being on the world that doesn't like fucking Sexy Star.
Then I got some bad news for him.
So, well, that's for another day.
You sure that girlfriend he has is really a girlfriend?
Well, that's the same vein of, we still haven't seen Dave Koco and fucking Tajiri in the same place.
Sorry.
Just saying. No, I was kind of surprised that they put this on, or they took it from Sexy Star. Because, she's really, really over right now. And I guess it's just a really good way to get some nuclear heat on Johnny Mundo. And the thing that fucking Lucha Underground does that's better than any other wrestling promotion and better than half the fucking shows on television is they're going to keep making you want to watch because you have to know what and why. So Johnny Mundo win. We just heard Sexy Star say she wants to go up against Matanza for the belt. Is Johnny Mundo still going to get that? Or is he going to be like gloating and Dario comes out and goes, are you ready? Ready for what? You're fighting my brother for that title. I just earned it. Yeah, but, it's already in effect, so you have to go fight for that title. There's just a million different ways this can go.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, it's like the opposite of Money in the Bank. Like Money in the Bank, with the exception of like 2 guys, no, 3. With the exception of 3 people, everyone who is cashed in has won.
Yeah, well, it's 2. It's who was it? One of them was Damian Sandow. I think there was only 2, isn't there?
No, there was 3. Ken Kennedy, John Cena, and Damian Sandow were the 3 who won Money in the Bank, but never cashed in and never won. Never won the championship from the cash in. Because remember, Kennedy got hurt, and so he lost his Money in the Bank to Edge, so he didn't win it. John Cena, he cashed in, I think it was on Punk or something, and he lost. And then Sandow just kind of cashed in because reasons.
Yeah, figure that.
And
whatever.
Yeah, he got fucked over, by the way, but that's a different rant for a different day. And plus, it's also incentive to get this championship cashed in because, well, I mean, you can win it, but now you have to retain it because you can lose it and just lose an instant title shot to someone who didn't have to earn a medallion, someone who didn't have to go through the 7-way match.
I really like that about the Gift of the Gods Championship. Plus, it's just a cool-looking belt. I actually really like it.
Yep, I like it should be called the Dragon Ball title, but
you really should, because them sons of bitches are going to scatter again soon. So I'm going to take over for just a second, Boom Booms, because we get to the final segment of the night, which, this is one of the best things about Lucha Underground, is they go to your segments after the match that are backstage, and they give you some more stuff. So what we have now is we see Prince Puma training. It is so, just through camera angles and a little bit of body language, you can still tell that something's bothering Puma. And he's sitting there, and then Vampiro comes up again, like the persistent fucking little brother. He's like, you don't feel 100%, do you? You're never going to feel 100% until you completely end this thing with Mill. Because remember, he fucking killed your mentor. He killed Conan Pumas, but you hated my mentor. Yeah, I did hate him, but I'm not the one that put him in the ground now, am I? And then he walks off. He's like, I hated Conan, but he taps him on the shoulder and goes, but I've always respected you. Here's where I'm going to give you some what Sammy would write and what Sammy wants to see out of this, Booms. You ready? This is what I told the LK, and my thing is if I like something enough, if something makes me happy enough, or if I hear glass break during a pay-per-view and Stone Cold comes out, Sammy Synister gets naked. It's just how things work. I told this to LK, and LK was like, I would get naked if this happens. Here's my idea. Mil Muertes is so devastated about losing to Puma, and Puma is still set on destroying Mil. Because remember, Vampiro said, I foresee that Mil Muertes will die by your hands. That Vampiro is doing all this. Again, this isn't Ian Hodgkinson. This is Vampiro doing this. They've made a very distinct difference between the two characters. Vampiro is doing this to manipulate Puma. And that he's going to just keep going after Mil, and Mil's going to keep coming after him, and he's going to come after him, and Mil's going to give everything he's got, and Prince Puma is going to beat him, and Mil Muertes will die, but it may not be fucking Prince Puma's fault. It was just that he gave too much, and Mil couldn't take it anymore, and his body just gave out on him. And then that is how Vampiro is going to get Prince Puma to be his new apprentice. Because he has to have an apprentice. It's like the Sith. There has to be a master. There has to be an apprentice. And then that is who Vampiro is. I think Vampiro knows more of what's going on than we know. I think he might know about this whole end of the world thing. And that's his contingency plan for the end of the world, for this war, is Prince Puma being his acolyte. And he can also get his revenge on Pentagon Dark. And then that can be, this awesome fucking WrestleMania level main event of the blow off between Prince Puma and Pentagon Dark. Because I'll be honest with you, I told this to LK, I'm going to give one of the biggest compliments you can give to wrestling to two people. It's one of the biggest ones that I can think of. Mm-hmm. And this isn't by level of importance because I think they're all about on the same level. Rock Austin, Generico Steen, Cena and everybody, Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair, Prince Puma, Mil Muertes. This is a feud that could go on for eternity. And I would love every minute of it.
It possibly could.
Like, it's one of those things that when you think, people like, you think about the Attitude Era, you think Rock versus Austin. When you think of AWA, you think of Dusty Rhodes versus Ric Flair. When you think of Lucha Underground, you think of Prince Puma versus Mil Muertes. That's what I want to see, at least. Plus, I love Pentagon.
You think his end game is to basically get revenge on Pentagon Dark?
That's the wild card in here. Is his end game to get? It would make the most sense, but it could also be the biggest swerve. It could be that Pentagon Dark still. That's the wild card. I think either way, Prince Puma is going to become Vampiro's new acolyte.
I mean, they could do that, or you think they're setting it up as to kind of a way to write off Prince Puma? Because they could have it, like at the end of that Batman comic where the Joker beat up Jason Todd, then blew up the building, and then at the end, like you called this there had two 1-900 numbers. The first one, Jason Todd lived. The second one, he died. Do you think they're setting it up to something like that where they could go either way with it? So if Ricochet decides to stay on the indie, stay with Lucha Underground, they go one way, but if he decides to go with WWE, they go another.
They could definitely set it up using it like that. Definitely. There's no reason why they couldn't. And again, here's the mystery. Here's the question. What do you do with it? I have to keep watching Lucha Underground because I have to know. It's not a want anymore. I have to know what the Mil Muertes Prince Puma problem is.
Mm-hmm. So overall, no, man, I thought it was a pretty stellar episode of Lucha Underground. I'm interested to see what's kind of come up next. I want to see about this body transfer. I want to see, this loser leaves the temple forever match. I want to see, everything else that they're building up here. I want to see, the best of 5. What's the ultimate opportunity?
There's just so many good stories getting told. And it's not like they're doing anything. Like, yeah, there's some shit that's banana fucking crazies, but there's nothing that is insanity. Like, there's nothing that isn't simple writing. It's just mystery. That's one of the best ways to keep people involved, is have it be a mystery. I apologize.
What I tell people is, if you're watching Lucha Underground, you just can't watch it like you watch like a regular promotion. This is a TV show.
Yeah, it's a fucking TV show, and it's my favorite TV show on fucking television. Easily.
Mm-hmm. And how was Sexy Star, man, going to get her revenge? Because
that's a good question. Because again, just spoilers irk me to no end. And I got a spoiler that I didn't want. I'm curious. I mean, I like Sexy Star. She's not my favorite by any means. I do really, really like her. Is she going to get a revenge? Is she going to cause the match against Matanza or against Johnny for Matanza? Because Matanza's looking more and more beatable every week. Every week, he looks a little more beatable.
Plus, you got Aztec Warfare coming up.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's, again, you have to keep watching. And that's the beauty of this show. And I mean, like, here's a couple things they're doing. If Sam Roberts on his podcast a while back put up his live panel he did with Lucha Underground at New York Comic Con, they are going to start touring very limited dates and cities. They will tour. Like, I just did, like, the Arizona State Fair, and they're about to do something in Texas. I swear to God, brother, if they come anywhere near us, we have to go. I would kill to see Lucha Underground live. Kill.
You know, they had a independent show. I forgot where it was, but the ropes actually broke in a match between Jack Evans and Son of Havoc.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And they kept going. They handled it like champs.
It's what you do. You just fucking keep going. So and that wasn't the big news that came out of that. They're also going to start doing more merchandise specific for wrestlers, and there was a bunch of. It's worth listening to see. But one of the things that they kind of, and I've said this months ago, so somebody at Lucha Underground must be watching, is instead of doing a pay-per-view online or anything, what I would do is I would do a theatrical release live event. So sell tickets in a theater to a live event. You've got my fucking money. I am there.
Yeah, that's not too out of the realm of possibilities. I mean, they do that with sporting events all the time.
Exactly. It's becoming a huge thing here in the last several years.
Yeah, they'll dedicate like one theater to showing like a whatever live sporting event. Now, this could be a little different here because I'm worried that we would get something like what happened with Triple Mania down at AAA, where it was just plagued with technical problems. That's what I'm worried about.
It was definitely rough there. Last point I want to make tonight is I know I put it on my personal Facebook. Have you seen my new tattoo?
Yes, I have seen your new tattoo.
Okay, because I like every time we've done Lucha, I've brought it up because it's fucking a Lucha tattoo.
Yeah, that's much better than the last one you got. That heart on your ass that says mother.
No, it doesn't say mother. It has your mom's name.
Mm. So has your name? No, I think it says your name here.
It's your mom's name.
You know, this is. Oh, by the way, this is true. I knew a girl who had a tramp stamp, and in the middle, it literally said your name here.
Jesus, was that Crotch Cricket?
No, that was not Crotch Cricket.
God, I was talking to somebody about that the other day, and we had the worst names for individuals when we were in college.
Yes.
You were vicious.
Let's
fucking call this shit short before we get a shit show coming after us.
Because don't make me go into the stories about how we coined the phrase herpagonisyphilades strand B.
The herpagonisyphilades, camel face, the great buffalo. Like it's just
the water buffalo.
The white. Oh my god, it was terrible. We had some awful names. Oh god damn it, gravy. We don't need to bring that bullshit up. God, what else was there?
Hatchet face, the locust.
Hatchet face, the locust. The locust. I do remember hearing about that one. Harriet the hippo. We were awful people. I swear to God, I'm not proud of how we were terrible people. Well, Booms, let's fucking wrap this shit up.
Nicknames to people who didn't deserve them.
They really didn't. That was the worst part. Is they 9 times out of 10 did not deserve this.
No, a lot of them did.
And some of them did.
All right. We're going to wrap this up. I want to tell everybody to check us out at KocoSports.com. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Let's say we've got a Raw review, we've got a SmackDown review, we've got an NXT review. LK's got his own little private for, I think it's 99 cents.
99 cents a month, guys, and we're pumping out content for that thing. So please, absolutely check us out. It's 99 cents a month. We would appreciate it. I guarantee you'll not find anybody that's going to put out as much material as we do.
Mm-hmm. And then if you really want to help out Koco, you want him back, I would suggest go to Amazon.com, go get a copy of his new novel. Actually, it's his debut novel, Operation Freakshow. I've actually got my copy right up here. You can get it. I think the Kindle version's like $2 or $3. I got the actual paperback here. It just cost me like $12, $13 there. Shipping, I think it's going to vary depending on where you're at, but $12, $13 here. There's Koco right there on the back. It's his debut novel, and sooner we can get him like money, the sooner he can get settled. The sooner he gets settled, the sooner he gets his ass back on air, and then we don't have to worry about this stuff anymore. So check it out, KocoSports.com, KOCOSports.com. It's your home for combat sports. It's where the world goes to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. So, Sammy, any words of wisdom before we split here?
It's Halloween coming up, so stay spooky, boys and girls. I'm going to try really, really hard, and hopefully, even if without Booms, if I have to do it by myself, I'm going to bring you something Halloween wrestling related. I really want to do that. Also, just a side note, Jack he's got like 4 costumes he can choose from that he's already got. He cannot make his mind up on which he wants to go as. Yours truly is only missing one piece, and I will be going as Kevin Owens for Halloween.
Hair? Is that what you're missing?
That's the only thing I'm missing. That's all I'm missing is hair.
Just get a little wig. Just get a little wig and cut it.
But his hair is like so short and
well, just get like a long wig.
Wet.
Just go get like a wig and get like a pair of scissors and just shorten it.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. We'll just go bald. We'll just do it bald.
There you go.
Future Kevin Owens.
Old man Owens. All right, kids. This is Booms for Sammy Synister, LK, and of course Koco saying the boom just went bang, and I am out.